sells tickets. No, Josh does a lot of great things, and had a great walk-off hit for us on Mother's Day with his mom in the stands. Made for great TV that day. So Josh Harrison with us.
So here I am. I am watching the Detroit Tigers game playing the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the world is excited beyond belief if you're listening to the Tigers Network. And it goes into the 9th inning, and everybody's just assuming that Justin Verlander's going to get his third no-hitter, and then one Josh Harrison breaks the party up. Tell me about that.
It was wild. Man, I just remember the energy in the stadium. I knew I was coming up second in that inning. You know, after the top of the 8th, I was like, all right, I'm up second, and I was DHing at the time. So I'll never forget. I went to one of our coaches, Mark Strittmatter. I was like, hey, let's go to the cage. And I noticed after about the 6th inning, his fastball, he wasn't throwing anything under 97. So I'm like, hey, Stritty, let's go in the cage, and I need you to just throw hard. And I'm like, yeah. And he's down there throwing hard. I'm swinging. I'm like, yeah. Go on and throw the 97 to 100. I'm ready for it. I get up there and I saw 6 pitches, not one fastball. So I swung at the first 2 pitches. They were sliders, and they were maybe 54 feet. And I took a step out like, all right, I really got to see the ball now. I was so geared up for 100 miles an hour, and he didn't throw me one. And the 6th pitch was, you know, a slider, but it was up a little bit. And, you know, things happen when you put the bat on the ball. You know, right. just battle.
It was a solid hit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was. How did you feel? I mean, you obviously saw you had to hit. You run down to first base. Did you feel like a sense of pride, like I got you, or is it just sort of doing your job?
I mean, you know, it felt good because for one, I mean, nobody wants to be no hit, and you know, we had some opportunities that whole game where, you know, guys hit a couple balls that we thought might have got down or just right at people. And, you know, it's one of those things where we're like, nobody wants to be no hit. And, you know, I got the hit, and, you know, it felt pretty good.
Yeah. Anybody in the Tigers talk to you afterwards? Just sort of nice job, or where to go? Or is there any...
I mean, they all seemed... They were disappointed. You know, they obviously wanted their pitcher to get the no-hitter, but, you know, I got the first, and Prince Fielder kind of laughed and was like, you wasn't going to let it happen, huh? And I kind of laughed, and I was like, man, all of us were like, man, somebody's got to get a hit. And, you know, fortunately, it ended up being me.
Is Verlander that good?
I mean, you know, when you got a guy that can, you know, he throws strikes, and he can throw any pitch he wants at any time. And, you know, when you can do that, you can be an effective pitcher. And, you know, he pitched the first 6 innings or so, you know, with all his pitches, and, you know, saved some in the tank. And, you know, you face a guy for 6 innings, then the last 3 is throwing harder. You know, it could be a little bit of an adjustment, but, you know, he's just like any other pitcher. You know, they have good days, they have bad days, but at the end of the day, you know, our job is to execute and make him work.
So your first major league hit is off against the guy who's currently the Cy Young Award winner. I mean, you're Verlander, Dickey. So that knuckleball comes up there. How do you adjust for that?
You know, it's tough, especially when you nobody goes to the cage and works on hitting knuckleballs. It's kind of a feel thing. You go up there and you just try to get a feel for it and say, all right, if it's up a little bit, you know, you're gonna swing. Right. If it's down, you know, you probably not, but it's unpredictable. He'll throw something that moved this way, something that moved that way, and it's just a matter of, you know, you kind of take a guess where it's going to be, and, you know, you just try to barrel it up and, you know, try to get on top of it, because he gets a lot of, you know, like pop-up swings and things, so you try to stay on top of it.
You remember that first hit?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. What were the circumstances?
I don't know if it, hold on. Tabata might have been on. I'm thinking. I can't remember. I don't think Tabata was on. It was a first pitch knuckleball.
Was that right?
And I swung. It was my second at bat. I had already saw enough in my first at bat, and you know, I put a swing on it and got the hit.
Yeah. So they were introducing you today just as a guy who plays all positions. Is that you? Is that you feel like you can play a little bit everywhere?
I mean, it definitely, you know, describes me. I can adapt, you know. I grew up playing, you know, infield, shortstop, a little bit of second base. But since I got to college, you know, they felt I was, you know, versatile enough to try the outfield, and you know, from there it just kept going on. And you know, teams knew once I was in college that I could do it. So when I got to the minor leagues, they weren't opposed to, you know, put me in the outfield for a game here or there. And you know, it's something I take pride in because not too many people can say they played 5 positions in one season.
You pitch?
You know, I joke around and throw pitches, but I wouldn't want to pitch because that would mean we're probably getting blown out.
Yeah.
So let's keep me off the mound and, you know, and win games. But, you know, it's one thing where maybe it'll happen one day, but I don't anticipate it.
You get a sense of the uptick in the Pirates organization at this point, as they've signed McCutchen for a little bit longer, Russell Martin coming on, Jason Grilli, you know, things that, frankly, a few years ago they would not have done.
I think it's good for the organization. You know, they got some pieces in place, and you know, when you have guys like that, you know, you can build a team around them that'll feed off of that. And we got a great group of guys, and we all want to win. And you know, those guys are big name guys, but if you were to talk to them, you wouldn't get the feeling from them that they feel they're superior to any of us. You know, they want to win just as bad as we do.
The skip pencils you in. Is there a particular position you'd like to be in, or even in the batting order?
You know, everybody would love to say, yeah, I play this position and hit here every day, but I know my situation. You know, I'm a utility guy that plays all over, and I know there are some days where I can be playing shortstop and batting second, but there's days I can be playing right field and batting eighth, or if we're playing American League, I could be batting ninth. So it's mentally challenging because it's something that before the major leagues I didn't really have, you know, I didn't have to do. So it's been an experience for me, but you know, I'm ready for any challenge.
Well, you're such a delightful guy, Josh, and I love the smile on your face, and you're a real compliment to the Pirates.
Thank you. I just enjoy what I do.
Well, welcome to Jamestown.
Thank you.
Thank you.